everyone, welcome back or to my channel. My name is Jen and thank you so much for pressing on today's video. So we're back with another highly requested, highly anticipated. I'm so happy you guys love this series, the Choy update. Keeping up with the Choys, House of Choys, whatever you guys want to call it. They're back and they're juicier than ever. So much has happened, but it felt like not a lot had happened. I know this update's a little late or a little early maybe, I don't know, but to me I didn't have a lot of time this time to like play with them. Not that I rushed anything, I'm just saying like I wish I had like more time to play with them, but you know, the holidays and all that jazz. So yeah, that's what I had to do, but I really hope you guys like this update, and I might not be doing a gameplay after because, you know, holidays and all that jazz. So let me know what you guys think and enjoy the video. This season kicks off with Luna Nove Larson and her childhood best bud and cousin, Garrett Sumner, moving into a small apartment in San Myshuno. The apartment was expensive, and the two of them living together could not possibly pay for the rent that the apartment was demanding. So, Luna Nove asked her boyfriend, Kai L. Butler, to move in with them, which of course he agreed, but there was a secret Kai was keeping. The secret was he didn't find Luna Nove pretty at all. Kai had only been dating Luna Nove because she was a rising commercial star. To add more stress to the situation, Celeste lived a long and full life. Sadly, she passed away from old age and left her teenage son, Bodhi Larson, behind. With no one else to turn to, Luna Nove took her brother in and moved him into the apartment as well. Garrett has been following his mother, Ariel's footsteps. Ever since he was little, Ariel had made sure she involved him in all of their meal preppings, so that was where Garrett got his love for food. His dream was to someday become someone's personal chef. Although Garrett's love life wasn't that great, he developed feelings for a popular cam girl by the name of Katie Pillar. Garrett would throw thousands of simoleons in hopes of just entering her VIP shows and actually dating her, but after realizing that she would never notice him, Garrett moved on to the cutie from across the apartment complex, Lissy Smanders. Things between Luna Nove and Kai were beginning to turn toxic. They clearly weren't good for each other, and after moving in her little brother Bodhi, Kai had had enough. He broke things off with Luna Nove and moved out, leaving her heartbroken, but she was kind of happy at the same time to be free. But now, trying to keep the apartment has become an impossible task. With just Garrett and Luna Nove making money to pay for the apartment was becoming impossible. So then her brother, Bodhi, decided that he was going to get a part-time job just to help pay for their apartment. Garrett, now in a happy, committed relationship with Lissy and climbing the ranks in his career, his life was at an all-time high. That was until he met a mysterious cutie at the gym. Her name was Penny Brumfield, and that was all he got from her. Their chemistry were like fireworks. He simply couldn't stop thinking about her, and one thing led to another. They spent the night together. Garrett quickly realized his mistake and ended things with Penny. Like instant karma, Garrett was informed that Ariel Sumner, his mother, had passed from old age. The Sumner children had already prepared themselves for this day, but it still hurt. On the Huntington side of things, Lexi had her longtime boyfriend Riley Winters move in. He promised to take care of Lexi and her little sister Kimmy, which she was greatly relieved because the two of them really needed someone in their lives to look after them after the death of their mother, Lilith. Meanwhile, Genevieve and Jameson welcomed two male babies, Christian and Wesley Grims, becoming the only Choi family descendant to deliver only males, which she was happy about, but she really wanted a girl as well. On the secret down low, Penny found out she was pregnant with Garrett's baby. Scared and alone, she went to seek Garrett at his apartment. This was where she was greeted by Garrett and his girlfriend Lissy. Stunned and shocked, she couldn't say anything and just left. Not long after, she gave birth alone in secret to a baby boy, Theo Brumfield. Completely given up on love, Kate Huntington and her son Connor Huntington moved in with Arist and Kimmy. The three of them rented a very small apartment and quickly got settled in. Then their landlord contacted them saying new residents were moving in and the girls decided to throw a welcoming party. They invited Priscilla as well. This party was where they met Kobe Pham and Ben Ambrose, the new residents of the apartment complex. Kobe and Kate hit it off, and she was absolutely smitten with him, and he to her. Ben Ambrose was starstruck with the beauty that was Priscilla. Meanwhile, Eris had recently been meeting someone on the internet. She's been dating them, talking to them, and flirting with them, and she really wanted to introduce her new girlfriend to her family. However, the news of Cyprus passing halted her decision to go public with her relationship. Instead, Eris spent time with her mourning mother and comforting her. Riley Winters had now proposed to his longtime lover, Lexi Huntington, and of course she said yes. Their wedding was a private wedding, and since Kimmy has moved out, the two had a lot of time to plan. Lexi Huntington was now Lexi Winters, and the two planned to save up enough simoleons to move into a home somewhere in Oasis Springs. Meanwhile, Kobe and Kate were getting very serious. She even introduced him to her son, Connor, and after the two made it official, Kate and Connor moved into Kobe's apartment. Then, one night, the sudden news that Misty Leanne Choi had passed away from heat exhaustion devastated the entire family, especially Zach and Liam. They spent months mourning her as she was taken so suddenly and so young. A long time after the death of her dear friend Misty Leanne, Priscilla and Ben got engaged. They were dating for some time after their first meeting at the house party, but because of the untimely death in the family, they kept everything low-key. Their wedding was kept simple and private, nothing too extravagant. Priscilla Sumner was now officially Priscilla Ambrose, and they both stayed in Priscilla's childhood home along with her little sister, Adalina. Not long later, a young, new vixen moved in across the street. Her name was Jessica Hermans, and she was a woman with a plan. The truth was, her grandmother used to work as a maid for David and Aspen Choi. All little Jessica's life, she had heard stories about the rich and toxic household, but little Jessica was obsessed with them. She wanted what they had and she was going to get it no matter what. So when she read on the local news that the heir to the Choi's vast fortune was now a widow, Jessica hopped on the opportunity. She took out a loan from the bank to rent the home across from the Choi residence and purposely became friends with the heartbroken Zach. Little by little, day by day, they became close, and not long later, Zach fell in love with Jessica. Soon, she moved into the Choi residence with another goal in mind, to bear Zach a child. Everyone had thought Rosalind Woodson was living out her best life with her husband Bruce Woodson. However, that was not it at all. In fact, Bruce had passed from drowning, which left Rosalind all alone in their home in Evergreen Harbor. Heartbroken, Rosalind moved in with Arist and Kimmy. Meanwhile, Garrett and Lizzie were both getting very serious, so he decided to pop the question, and she said yes. Their wedding was small and private, however, something was looming in the background. They just didn't know it yet. Lissy Smanders was now Lissy Sumner, and the two of them moved into a comfortable home in Copperdale where they planned to raise many children. Luna Nove was desperate for love and money. Now that her bestie Garrett had moved out, it was just Luna and her brother, Bodie. Bodie had already graduated college and was ready to take on the working field. He met a very cute bartender by the name of Damien Daly. The two guys hit it off and soon couldn't stop seeing each other. They quickly became official. Meanwhile, Luna Nove seemed to be living a good life ever since her career began to take off, as well as developing a crush on someone. After the death of Eris' mother and father, she went back to her hometown, Hinford on Bagley, and while she was there for a 3-day visit, With her long-distance girlfriend that she had met prior online, Eris found out that her online girlfriend had actually been cheating on her and was pregnant. Heartbroken and completely crushed, Eris kicked out her now ex and stayed in the rental home alone. That was until she met a local who had just moved into her childhood home. The person that had recently moved into Eris' childhood home was a resident named Sasha Robertson. The two started to get to know one another a little bit more each day, and along the way, the two started to form a romantic relationship. Their relationship did move fast, but not long after, Eris proposed to Sasha, and the two were now engaged. Meanwhile, Jessica was cracking under the imaginary pressure she had placed upon herself. After a year since she married into the Choi family, Jessica knew that if she had not given Zach a child soon, he would have left all of his wealth to his firstborn, Liam. So Jessica tried so hard to get pregnant. She seduced Zach every night to sleep with her in high hopes that they would conceive. Jessica was clearly having a rough time trying to get pregnant, and she wasn't getting any younger. With Zach's new promotion, he was barely home. Liam would be at school during the weekdays, so Jessica, unemployed, would be at home by herself for the majority of the day. At first, she never noticed the workers around the house. However, the new hire caught her eye. Recently, Zach had hired a new cleaner since their usual one had retired. His name was Reuben Whaley. They both were extremely attracted to one another, and one lonely day while she was home alone, Jessica made a move on the eye candy and the two of them slept together. Luckily, they finished before Zach got home, and out of fear, Jessica slapped herself awake and told herself it was only a moment of weakness. However, a couple of weeks later, Jessica began to feel sick, so she took a pregnancy test. It was a positive, and so she was happy. However, the week before, Zach and her had not slept together because he was always tired from work. So that meant the baby was none other than Reuben's. But Jessica was not about to let that stupid mistake ruin her livelihood. She would have to lie and say the child was Zach's. Jessica went and announced to Zach that she was with child, and the two of them were thrilled to become parents. Meanwhile, Kate Huntington's life was turning around. Her relationship with her boyfriend was going well, and they both welcomed home a beautiful baby girl, Anna Huntington Pham. On Liam's birthday, after school, he went for a jog before the party started. While jogging, however, a car came out of nowhere and ran him over, leaving the teenage boy's lifeless body on the cold ground for hours before his father, Zach Choi, and fellow passbyers saw. One person amongst the crowd of people there was the Choi's housekeeper, Reuben Whaley. He was reportedly clocked out at the time and told the investigators that he was just passing by. The car or driver was never found, and the family had no choice but to lay Liam to rest and close the case. During the family mourning period, Reuben would sneak into the Choi residence after hours just to take a glimpse of his lover, Jessica. She caught him multiple times trying to climb in through the window while Zach was asleep in the same bed and would have to drag Reuben outside just to talk to him. This made Jessica worry about how attached Reuben had become, and if Reuben ever found out that she was pregnant with his kids, then that would only further complicate things. Jessica had already had suspicions that Reuben had something to do with Liam's untimely death. Not long later, Jessica went into labor. Her labor was easy and quick, giving birth to a set of twins, Griffin and Esme Choi. Zach didn't suspect a thing, and things were beginning to turn around for Jessica. Now, with Liam out of the way, her children would become the sole inheritors of the Choi's vast fortune. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I know in the beginning it was a little more tame, but then towards the end it was getting really juicy, and I don't know about you, but I personally really love the whole Jessica character. I love her so much. I think I did really well with her criticism, and I just really wanted some some drama in this one, and I'm so happy that happened, because I was really just going to let Zach live on his own, but I'm happy that I listened to my gut and gave him someone else, and a little bit of spice in there just to add it, you know, just to be messy, because who doesn't love messy, right? But anywho, if you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye!